Welcome. My name is Jacqueline, here with You Call This Yoga. This is a yoga therapy sequence for stress relief. This practice can be done sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor. Feel free to begin in whichever position offers you the most support. Wherever you're at, finding awareness of your spine and sitting a little bit taller, crown of the head lifting up. And at the same time, having this sense of groundedness in the tailbone. And breathing into that space between. If it feels comfortable, you might close your eyes completely or maybe close your eyes halfway. And we want to begin by just really paying attention to what's present for us today. Noticing how we feel in our body, our mind, our overall energy. And you might consider now if there's one word to describe how you feel in this moment. And then consider one word to describe what you'd like to move toward. For example, if we feel anxious, we might be working to move towards calm. Or if we feel heavy, moving towards light. We take a moment just to see here what arises for you today. This is svadhyaya, self-study in our practice. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed, or they could start to flutter open as we begin a little bit of pranayama, breath work. And so at first, we're just noticing that natural breath. And I want you to place your hand wherever you notice your breath to be. And so maybe that's hands at the belly. Maybe that's hands at the chest. And then without forcing, I want you to see if you could start to lengthen your out breath. So you don't have to change where your breath is at. And if it feels better to have your arms by your side, you can do that. But having the hands on the body here just kind of increases that awareness, that mind-body connection. And as we work on lengthening our exhale, I want to introduce a humming breath. This can be really effective for stress relief, helping us to feel more calm, more connected to our body. And so it's breathing in normally and exhaling with a humming sound. And so you've got that longer breath out, plenty of time to hum. Again, breathing in and humming out. Now, this can be an internal sound that you make, or if it would feel more comfortable for you today, you could breathe in through your nose, breathe out through the mouth, kind of sighing it out. Again, having that longer exhale. So we're going to do 2 more rounds, humming breath or variation. as you finish, let your eyes close, let your hands go down to your lap, and notice if there's been any impact from the breath practice. Has anything shifted? Again, this is a really nice tool that you can come back to, that humming breath. Finding just normal breath now, eyes opening. And if you are seated on the floor, if you were in a cross-legged position at any time, feel free to switch the crossing of the legs or even switch the position. We're going to begin with some gentle neck movements. You're going to breathe in and let the chin lift. And it doesn't have to come up much. We don't want to crunch the back of the neck. And on the exhale, tuck chin down towards the chest. Moving with our breath, we inhale, chin up. And exhale, chin in. Slow, steady movement. One more like this. Keeping the chin in at the chest as you finish. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder, breathing in. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear towards the left shoulder. Exhale, chin at chest. Again, move with your breath. Inhale to the side. Exhale to center. Find the range of motion that for you is appropriate. We'll do that one more time in each direction. As you finish, you'll lift your head back to a neutral position and find a few gentle shoulder rolls. That movement could be small, it can be big, it can be slow. Again, we really start to pay attention here to what's happening in our body and adjusting accordingly. Now, as you inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears, and on your exhale, relax the shoulders down. Normal breath in, shoulders lift. Humming breath out, drawing the shoulders down. One more like that. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, humming breath out. And so we compare that humming breath with poses. It's just another way to, again, deepen that mind-body connection, get us out of our head, into the present, and help relieve stress. Our next movement will be a side body stretch. There's some variations we can take here. Either bring your right hand to the chair, right hand to the floor, or maybe even have some props nearby. You're going to reach your left arm out to a T, have the palm flip towards the ceiling. And again, work with the range of motion that feels appropriate in your body. The left arm will start to lift up, and if it's a few inches, that's okay. It might lift up all the way towards the ceiling. Wherever you're at, create space between that left hip and left shoulder, lengthening through the side body. That's your inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to tilt over to the right. And we'll do this a couple of times, moving with the breath. Inhale, extend the hands straight overhead. Exhale, side bend, leaning to the right. Inhale to lift. Exhale to side bend. We're going to do one more, and we're going to hold this last one. And so there's an option of maybe going deeper into that stretch. If you've got a prop, you might reach your hand down towards that, or if you're on the mat, maybe bringing that elbow to a block or to the floor. And we want to notice with this top shoulder, is there any way we could be more relaxed there? Maybe that top shoulder lifts a little bit up and back. Breathing into the side body, opening through the heart. We're going to stay one more breath, humming breath. Normal inhale. Releasing, we'll come back to a neutral C and prepare to do the same thing on the other side of the body. Before we go there, see if you can feel that difference. Maybe one side compared to the other feels more open, more long. Maybe it feels like there's more breath on one side. And we're going to do the same thing now, bringing that left hand either to the ground or the chair. Right arm to a T, palm flipping up towards the ceiling. Right arm's going to lift up, and again, you find that range of motion that for you is appropriate. And so consider here, if your shoulder hikes up towards your ear, that's a signal from the body. We might lower that arm a little further down. That way there's a little more space. We're going to inhale, arm up, and exhale, lean towards the left. And we're moving with the breath. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side bend. One more like this. And then we're going to stay and hold in this side bend pose with the option of going deeper if that would feel appropriate today. And deeper can look different ways. So maybe it's finding a little more space between that right hip and right shoulder, or reaching out just a little bit more with those right fingertips. Take your humming breath here, normal inhale, humming exhale. And we'll come out, sitting back up. Maybe feeling more of that sense of balance now after doing both sides. And at this time, we're going to come into a mudra. So using our hands, we're going to bring the thumb and index finger to touch. We'll do this with both hands and just let the hands rest along the lap. This is the Gyan Mudra. It promotes calmness and clarity. And as we're holding this shape, we're just going to take a few more rounds of that humming breath today. So it's your normal inhale, humming exhale. We're going to do 5 total, so 4 more like that. And all of these things that we've done today in our practice are to promote relaxation, to help our nervous system be at ease, and that sends signals to the body. When we're more relaxed, we experience less stress. And you might notice that physically in the body with a greater sense of ease, the shoulders down from the ears, the jawbone no longer clenching. And while we may not always have time for a full yoga practice, if you notice yourself feeling stressed, maybe you come back to that humming breath, or the mudra that we've got here, the thumb and the index finger touching. You're welcome to come back to this mudra as we make our way into our final shape. There's a few ways that this can look today. So we want to come into a reclined position with our legs up if you're able to get there. If you need, you might find just a traditional reclined shape, maybe laying on a couch or bed with support underneath the knees. Let me bring this back. I'm going to need that. So you can also use a wall. If you've got a wall space available, you can come and lay and place your legs up against the wall in an L shape. You can be on the floor, maybe against a couch or against your chair, and you're going to come and lay on your back. Place your legs up on support, so chair, couch, ottoman. Again, maybe you're laying on the couch and you just prop a few pillows underneath your knees. And check in with your body. If you are on the floor, you might have a blanket or pillow under your head for a little more support. You want to find a shape that is both supportive and relaxing for you today. Again, we've talked a little bit about the nervous system here, and our spine is such an important part of that. And being in the shape, especially if you're able to get on the floor and elevate the legs, it really allows the spine to come into a neutral position. And in that position, we start to relax. You're held either by the floor, the couch, or some form of support. Maybe your hands come back into your mudra. Eyes could be closed. If the mind is busy, take a few rounds of that humming breath. Just let yourself begin to relax here. Breathing naturally, I want you to curl under your toes. Squeezing the toes here, you'll hold. And then let go and take another natural deep breath. And you want to flex the muscles of the lower legs like you're pushing your heels away from you. Holding here. Relax and then breathe deep. And start to engage the muscles of your upper legs as if you were squeezing a little block or something between the thighs. Relax and take a deep breath. Squeezing the glutes and around the tailbone, the hips. Holding here. And then relax. Now try to take a deep breath into your belly and hold that breath. And as you breathe out, feel the belly muscles relax. That same thing, but now breathe into the chest, holding that breath there. And then as you let go, feel the chest muscles soften. You're going to bring your shoulders towards your ears, holding here. Relax and take a deep breath. Now make fist with your hands. Start to engage all the muscles of the arms and hands, holding, and then let it go. Maybe coming back to that mudra. Then you're going to clench your jawbone and squeeze your eyes shut, holding here. And then release. Breathe. Squeeze everything in the body. Relax. Squeeze. And then let everything relax. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here to finish. That can just be natural breath, or maybe that humming breath. As you finish the 5th round of breath, begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Just let your movement grow here, wherever you're at. If you're on the floor, laying down on your back, you'll take some movements, making your way up, rolling to one side. If you're laying down on the couch, you can, again, take as much time as you need to transition. And we're going to come back to our starting position. And so whether you're on the floor or in a chair, slowly making your way back there. Finding an upright position, grounded in the tailbone, but lifting through the crown of the head. And something else that can help with stress and just give us a calming effect. It's a marma point at the crown of our head. We'll bring our left hand to the top of our head, palm facing down, and then the right hand on top of the left. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure here. In fact, you might let the hands stay light. You can close your eyes and just simply breathe. Noticing internally, is there anything happening? Any shift towards calmness? And we're going to use our dominant hand for this next position. The other hand can come down to your lap. You're going to bring your peace sign fingers of your dominant hand to the place in between the eyebrows. Eyes could be closed or looking towards the tip of your nose. You might just simply pulse or touch this place. You might find more of a circular massage here today. And this is another marma position that can help us to relax and help us to feel regulated. Once you've done a little bit of that, go ahead and lower both hands to your lap. Eyes closed or gaze halfway closed. We just want to notice our body, our mind, and what our overall energy feels like. At the beginning of this practice, we try to describe one word for our present experience, and then one word we'd like to move toward. And so just observing here what shifts you might have made in this practice today. Closing the session, we'll join the palms together at the chest. Taking one final breath here. And thank you for sharing this session with me.